Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within,
Erev Tov, everyone. Hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you so much for being part of our Zoom Siyyum this evening. I hope that the day has been good to you and that the weather has been kind. It's been kind of mild here, I guess, in our neck of the woods, and a pleasant summer evening, even though it's not summer yet. But we're getting there. We're getting close, right, Rabbi?
You sure are. Sure are. We will be there in 6 days. So there we go. Erev Tov, folks. Good to be with you. Let's start with a song. Can't hear you, Cantor.
Somehow I got muted. I don't know why. Heivenu shalom alechem. Alechem heivenu shalom. Heivenu shalom alechem. Alechem heivenu shalom. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Oh baby, hey baby, shalom alechem. Alechem heivenu shalom. Heivenu shalom alechem. Alechem heivenu. Alechem heivenu. Alechem heivenu shalom. Now you're the one that's muted, Rabbi.
Alechem Heivenu Shalom. We are we welcome folks in peace. Hi to Nancy and to Ellen and to Simon and Yvonne. If anybody else is out there, say hello so that we know that you are with us. We are quickly. Time is moving quickly. We are moving through into the book of Numbers. Last week we read from Naso. This week we read from Bahalotecha, and I gave a little summary of the Torah portion when we gathered on Monday. One of the things the Torah portion talks about is the menorah that is in the tabernacle and later in the temple, as this plays itself out. Another thing that it talks about is in this Torah portion, we have God and Moses as the two main religious leaders, and perhaps they both let the Israelites down. And Moses gives the speech in which he says, "Did I produce all this people? Did I engender them? I cannot carry all this people by myself, for it is too much for me. Kill me, rather, and let me see no more of my wretchedness." Moses's frustration is so oversized here, but we've all been in that place where we feel like we just can't carry anymore. And the Israelites are constantly complaining, right? It's the parent who wants to lock themselves in their room when their kids have been complaining for a long time or throwing a tantrum, and they're just trying to get away. Moses is sort of in that place. And then God also gets frustrated. It's like the two parents here are Moses and God. Adonai heard and was incensed and the anger of Adonai blazed forth against the people. And there's they're very there's a lot of frustration because the people are kamit onanim. They're like complainers all the time. They just kind of play this. But it is after this desperate plea that Moses has that God decides that 70 representatives or elders will receive God's spirit and therefore be able to serve as prophets. This is a little bit of a democratization, right? All the decisions before had to be made by Moses, and now they're going to spread those decisions out among 70 elders who will be able to make some of those decisions as well. Because each of us knows, whether it's in a family or whether it's in a community, whether it's in a nation, right? Or a club or whatever those things are, that no one person can carry the load, right? The load needs to be spread among others. And perhaps when we do that as well, we have others now who can also bring of their own talents and their own wisdom, right? It's interesting that God gives them the gift, in a sense, as they lead. We might say sometimes leadership also helps people develop their gifts. And those two things are both important, both that we step back sometimes to allow others to lead, and that we also allow people to contribute the gifts that they have. Simon, did you have something you wanted to share?
Rabbi, how does this concur with Moses and his father-in-law giving him hints to form deputies, so to speak?
Yeah, we have that in Yitro, in Parshat Yitro, which we also have that story, and that is the second time that's the same Torah portion in which the Ten Commandments are given the second time. It's in the retelling, hold on a second. And so we have certainly those messages are in a number of different places as it plays out. We have it in Yitro. Sorry, it's right. It's the first reading in Exodus 18 through 20, and then there Yitro says to Moses, right, like, it's too much for you to carry by yourself, right? Here, the difference is that, at least according to the parasha, God actually gives the people a gift of prophecy, these 70 elders, so that they can, everybody, even though there are other people appointed to do judgments and stuff like that, as far as people want to know, when people want to ask of God, they all have to go to Moses. We don't have a direct route yet. That comes later in Jewish tradition. They go through the prophet, right? So God, in a sense, is appointing deputies in this sense to move that through. It's not, there's not a whole lot said about this after this actual parasha, so I'm not quite sure how it works, right? It's talked about here that God deputizes them and gives them the gift of prophecy. So it's sort of an interesting place. I'm not 100% sure where it is. We have lots and lots of little things in this Torah portion that are not. It's not one narrative. We have the narrative here of Miriam being sent out of the camp, and nobody moves while Miriam is outside the camp. Everybody stays where they are, and then she comes back and is readmitted, and they can move forward. We have all sorts of different kinds of things that are going on. So the and Moses responds, right? That when God says there'll be others now who can speak for God, Moses responds, "Would that all Adonai's people were prophets, that Adonai put the divine spirit upon all of them," right? Joshua actually expresses concern. He's a little worried, like, you're going to give all these people prophecy? I don't know. And Moses sort of says, boy, wouldn't it be better if, like, give it to everybody, right? Let's really spread it around as it plays out. And God's response really to this is to explain that what makes God's relationship with Moses different from all the is to explain that God's relationship with Moses is still different from that of all the other prophets. So there's sort of, yes, you're all going to be, all these elders will be prophets, but I'll still hold Moses. We'll have a special relationship, right? Me and Moses. It's not going to be the same as with everybody else. Of course, it's interesting. The tradition says that that Moses, is the only one to see God panim el panim, face to face. But we actually don't even have that, right? When Moses is up on the mountain, kind of sees the shadow of God in the cleft of the rock. So it's interesting because on one hand, the tradition says, oh, Moses sees God face to face, but we don't actually have any place where Moses actually sees God face to face. Even Moses has a kind of a glancing at God, not a full frontal experience, in a sense, of God as that plays out. So perhaps compared to everybody else, Moses is panim el panim, but his panim el panim is still not quite panim el panim. It's not quite face to face. So, all right, sure. We are going, let me just say hi to a few other people who have joined us. Hi to Rochelle and hi to Adele, and wishing Adele refuah shlema. She's had some medical procedures today. And Philip and Janet and Jeff and David and Kim. So it's good to have all of you with us. And we're going to move into our Shema and Hashkivenu prayers.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. us from all harmful things. Oh, Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Oh, Adonai. Amen. 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 Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom, Lishalom. Ve'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Amen. Amen.
Just a couple of announcements. We have B'nai Mitzvah the next two Shabbats. So we have the Bar Mitzvah of Noah Heyman this Shabbat, and the following week of Leo Raphael. And that will be our B'nai Mitzvah until we take, and then we take our July break. We have other, of course, we have Shabbat services on Friday at 6:30, our family service online only, and then our in-person and virtual Shabbat Classic service at 7:30. Please, we will put out more information, but giving a heads up that we will be taking a hiatus from Zoom Siyyum and things like that in July and August, and we will make some decisions about what it looks like on the other side. But Cantor Paul and I are both away much of that time, so that's part of what drives that decision. And then we will have new information coming out for our fall schedule as we move into the High Holy Days. So all of those things are true. If you're, since we have a decent number of people tuned in today online, just a reminder, if you haven't turned in your TBI commitment for this year, to do that. And if you're not a member and would like to learn more about Temple Beth Israel, give us a call and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Any other announcements you want to share, Cantor?
I don't think so. Not at the moment.
Great.
We're just seeing everybody at Shabbat.
All right. Well, let's close with a song.
Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, say shalom aleinu. Say shalom, say shalom, shalom aleinu. Israel, Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'alkol Yoshvei Tevel. Say Shalom bimroma, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Say Shalom bimroma, Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, yaseh shalom aleinu, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'alkol Yisrael, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'alkol Yoshvei Tevel.
Wishing everybody peace, and that the peace of the heavens descend into us and into our lives, and hope to see you on Shabbat. Take care, everybody. Erev Tov.
Erev Tov, everyone. Lehitraot. We will see you soon.